Welcome back to Tex-Mex, and as promised, I've got Matt DelRossi sitting with me on the big red couch. Thanks for coming in.
No problem.
You,
Thanks for having me.
Not originally from Austin, traveled around quite a bit from Massachusetts,
Up
and
east.
then came through New Orleans before you got
through New
here.
Orleans.
How did that?
Well, actually, was going to college for music in the state called Maine.
Yeah,
It's way
up
there. And I was studying music, and then I kind of just got sick of studying music, and I wanted to play music. You know,
the theory is not as much fun as
it doesn't. Theory is nothing without application.
Right.
And so it was right after Hurricane Katrina had hit, and I always have a soft spot for New Orleans and New Orleans music. So I went down there and I did relief work, trying to, and I also did some work, to get paid, but that didn't work out as good as the relief work. The relief work was more meaningful. And I played in a band down there on Bourbon Street called Plan B, and that was cool. And I got some money together, and I moved to Texas. And first I moved to San Antonio with my girlfriend, and then now we just moved to Austin.
So what kind of relief work were you doing?
House gutting.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, those houses were, I'm sure you've seen some of the footage,
Right.
where the houses are just covered with slime, and I don't want to gross people out too much, but it was tough work. And down in the Ninth Ward, pulling stuff out of houses, and just, they put you in a big white suit.
And just
Yeah,
let you take over?
Just go in and start ripping stuff out, and then bleaching it down afterwards to kill all the mold. It was nasty.
Well, what's the one thing that you took away from all that time spent in New Orleans?
It's really it's humility, I guess. That, sometimes bad things happen to good people, but they kind of brought out the best and the worst in people. There were people going down there and volunteering, and there were people going down there and carpetbagging, trying to make money. And I mean, as you know, there's still billions of dollars of relief money that was supposed to go to people in the Ninth Ward that just never made it. Just wound up in contractors' pockets. I remember meeting this group of people about my age who had been working for a contractor, and they had waited for their paycheck, and the contractor had hightailed it out of there. He just got all the money from the contracts and didn't pay his workers and left them stranded.
Just left them.
Yeah.
So, well, it's good that you did that, and now you're back in Austin and playing music. And you've been part of, we can call you a veteran of South Park Before Dark. I know this is the first summer for it, but you've been playing those shows quite a bit.
Yeah, it's really an honor for me to be part of bringing music back to South Park. Not being from Austin, I didn't get to see any concerts there, but I mean, I saw the list of some of the bands that had played there: Rage Against the Machine, Fish, Pearl
Smashing
Jam.
Pumpkins.
I mean, just so many of my favorite bands played there, and then I'm kind of opposed to urban sprawl personally. I'm not into big box stores coming in and doing what they did down there, but it seems to be working out because they just had so much development in that part of Austin that they kind of need a shopping center, and they did a pretty good job with it. I mean, there's a nice amphitheater there. People at the Grove are really cool. It's more community based than you'd think a strip mall would be.
Right.
Which is the cool thing about it.
You did the very first one. Truthfully, being very honest, how many people were at the very first one?
I mean, I didn't have a counter. You
didn't have an abacus or anything?
No, and I can't tell you. I'd say between 400 and 500 people.
Really?
Yeah.
Because we were out just a couple weeks ago, and it was packed with people. So that's really cool that it's been such a great turnout. What's been the response from people? People come up to you and said stuff to you and talk to you about.
I've had a great response. I couldn't. I don't know how to say. It's been a really warm, genuine welcome into Austin. It's a great city, and I really appreciate the opportunity to play here. Just got an apartment over, really close by.
Cool.
South side of Austin, South Austin, and I'm loving it. This is the greatest city I've ever lived in, and I lived in New Orleans, but that was after Katrina, so
right, it's not quite
kind
the same.
of not quite the same. But of all the places I've been, I'm really glad to be here right now with
Sweet.
the opportunities I've got. And the people at the Grove have been really supportive. As a result of playing the South Park Before Dark, I got to make friends with the owner of Mama Fu's Asian House, Randy Murphy, and he's been great. He lets me play at his restaurant there in the Grove on Fridays and Saturdays when they're not having South Park Before Dark, and also at his other location, which is on Lakeline up in North Austin.
Awesome. Well, welcome to Austin. You can catch Matt DelRossi Sunday night Starts around 5:30 at South Park Before Dark, right where South Park Meadows used to be. And then after you is Mark Monaco.
Yeah, that's right.
It should
This
be
week's
a
Mark Monaco.
good night of music. We're going to get into some Dead Ringers right now. They actually played South Park
They rocked.
Before Dark, and they rocked, and they cleaned some people out of a lot of beer, which is not surprising for those guys. They can do that. Here they are right now on Tex Mix.